And Neil, we've been speaking a bit yesterday. In fact, when we had Reem in yesterday, who runs TI22 Films, we were just sort of discussing this situation that these days, given we've all got 4K cameras in our pocket, we've got access to all these apps, we all tend to think we're somewhat of a filmmaker because we've used a cool Instagram transition on our reels.
Well, not just Instagram transitions. We've also got some filters that takes the job of the colorist away, and you've got literally everything going on from your thumb rolling in, and an eventual video coming out in like 30 seconds.
Some colorists will take 3 days on a 1 minute movie. This is some of the detail that comes with high-end filmmaking. So if you do want to learn more about filmmaking, there's an 8-week filmmaking workshop that's designed for both beginners and experienced filmmakers. It's going to cover all those sort of aspects. It's called Zara Stars, which is a production and talent agency here in Dubai, and it works across the full media spectrum, but less from us. We'll hear more about some of the organisers. Wong is an Academy Award nominated actor, and Jonathon Whittaker is a New York-based filmmaker, and they're both joining us via Zoom. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. Great to have you on.
Thanks for having us. Great to be on.
First of all, to you, Jonathon, as the filmmaker, what is it like? Is it really a situation now where we're in the age of social media and the age of having these, ultra HD cameras in our pocket, that people do think that they're suddenly a filmmaker?
Yes, that's true. And it's actually, I look at it like a great time period. The idea that people have a more powerful camera in their pockets than I had in graduate school was pretty incredible. And so the access, the way the digital revolution has brought down barriers to entry, right? When I was coming up, you had to have a film camera. There was no digital. And so the budget for that was insane, to be able to save up for that, to be able to buy the film stock, to get it developed, to actually have access to those cameras was really hard. The downside of it, as you said, is everyone fancies themselves a filmmaker and thinks they know everything about it. I think what we lose track of is that technology is great, but it always comes back to story and how are we leveraging that technology.
Now, this is incredible. That statement of yours was, in fact, where I was heading towards in the next step. That, while technology has developed, the storyteller is still the same. The narrator is still the same. So, whatever technologically advanced, howsoever technologically advanced we get, if the story is not good, you may not be able to produce a good product finally, is it?
Yes, absolutely. The story is always the foundation upon which everything is built. Right. And so it doesn't matter how slick the camera is, what type of moves you have, what filters you might use, what actors you even have in front of the camera. If the story itself is not relatable, if it's not believable, if it's not compelling, then it really doesn't matter.
So what you've got coming up is a filmmaking workshop at Zara Stars Productions. It's an intensive 8-week filmmaking workshop. To you, Leo, thanks for joining us. What are some of the topics that are going to be involved for someone who wants to take part in this 8-week course?
Well, thank you for having me on. I hope I'm coming through fine.
Well, actually, Leo, you sound like a radio announcer. You sound great.
Thank you. Thank you. I tried. Anyways, I did want to make one minor correction, and that is that I'm Academy Award nominated producer, not okay. I wasn't awarded or nominated as an actor, but as a producer. Anyways, so aside from that, what's going on in the 8-week course you were asking? We cover the whole facet from the beginnings of pre-production all the way to post-production, and primarily concentrating on the development of the idea and prepping for production so that it can actually happen, so that we can actually get to film it and put it in the can. That's the goal. And that's the key here. That's what you were mentioning to Jonathon about how everyone thinks that they're a filmmaker. And true to form that, yeah, in essence, they could be, because they all have the tools in their pocket. I mean, you guys have 1 or 2 or 3 of these in your pocket right now, but it's about having the knowledge to be able to use it.
No, that's true. The knowledge probably is something that one will be seeking when they come for this workshop. Who can attend this? Is it only for kids who are probably just studying at the university, or is it for, say, Kitch and I, who probably have stable careers but want to explore something new?
It's absolutely for anyone who has an interest.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much my litmus test, is that if you actually want to do this, then by all means, come on in and learn how it's done. See how the sausage is made.
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, look, it's a great thing because when you're looking at most of these films, when people want to make short films, how hard is it to get acknowledged? Because my background's in music, and now there's so much music that's created, and every song that's ever written is in your pocket, that if you write a great song, sometimes it's harder to cut through. Is it harder for filmmakers now, if they have a great idea, to try and cut through? Even though we're spending more times watching our screens than ever, there's so much content available, it might be easy for a great story to get lost. It might be easy for a great story to get lost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that is definitely true. With more content, there's more competition. There's more levels. There's more of a bar that's set higher that you have to achieve in order to get people's attention. And frankly, there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, that's a very good thing, because then it drives everyone to make better and better quality.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, at the same time, granted, most of the stuff that you do in your initial beginning stages, you guys as well, when you started,
Oh, yeah.
putting your voice out there, most of the beginning stuff you did was terrible.
Oh, it was horrible.
But yeah, but you needed that. You needed those failures and those bad spots in order to teach you what to do better.
Fair point there. Jonathan, I have this question for you now. Now, back in the days, if you probably just move back about 5 years, 10 years maybe, there were two formats. One was the big screen and the other one was the television. Now comes in the OTT platforms. You're literally watching cinemas on your phones, on your tablets, on your computer screens. Does a filmmaker think that my film is for the big screen? I want to have that scale, or this is for OTT, this is only for television release, so I will scale it down and not probably spend so much, or you make it like you wish to make and then see where it goes?
It's a great question, and I can't speak for as a blanket statement for all filmmakers, but I would say that the majority of filmmakers do realize that very few make theatrical release. And so a lot of them are aiming for OTT services. And so some of the strategy, the visual strategy that you employ going into production keeps that in mind. So for example, the use of mediums and medium close-ups and close-up shots would be more frequent on a smaller format than you would on a larger screen, because of the impact they would have on the big screen. That said, I think people still always think of theatrical as being the gold standard, and so we do aim for that. And I wodd say probably filmmakers go into it saying, let's just tell a great story, and hopefully it'll get sold. And if it's just for OTT, amazing. If it's theatrical, even better.
No, that's true. But then again, today AI has been literally coming in and doing everything that's possible. The other day I was sitting out and, I just for fun, I asked ChatGPT to write a film story with a spy thriller concept and a spy, there's a spy and then there is a James Bond kind of a character. And I'm not kidding, there was a story that came out which probably had hints of literally everything, but seemed like a good mix. What does a writer do in that case?
Yeah, it's interesting times, and I guess we'll see. I do know that I know, so I've actually, some writers are using that technology and kind of feeding it different prompts and seeing what comes out of it,
Right.
and then taking that script and then reworking it. And I don't know, only the future will tell, but it's not hard to imagine some studio exec looking at past box office success and saying, okay, let's pick it apart. What were some of the elements of that story that did so well, and let's feed that to this bot and let's see what it pumps out. I mean, I do think that is the reality moving forward. I've played around with it as well, just to short scripts for some of my students, for some of the exercises. I would say that I don't think we're there yet. It was able to give me some nice framework. I don't think the dialogue was exactly
Right.
believable, relatable, and and with the depth of character that we'd hope. But yeah, AI is going to play a big part in the industry for sure.
We're currently in conversation with Jonathon Whittaker and Leo Wong, giving their upcoming filmmaking workshop is coming to Zara Stars Productions. For anyone who wants to come along to do this project, I don't need any special equipment. Don't need to go down to Panavision and get some cameras or buy film. Don't need to buy any expensive stuff. What do I need if I enroll and turn up on the first day?
Really, all you need is a passion for storytelling. Maybe if you're old school, a pad of paper and a pencil, so you can take some notes. And if not, you can bring a computer to take notes. But really, that's it. Just an interest in filmmaking. And as Leo said, we designed it um, to be advantageous for anybody of any level, but also from any facet of filmmaking, whether you're a producer, a screenwriter, a director, a cinematographer, or even an actor, because we will cover all of the basis of filmmaking. And I think that, because it's such a collaborative art form, the more that each department is informed about what the other one is doing, the more well-oiled machine it'll be when you're actually on set. The more empathetic you will be as a producer, as a director, and the more informed you will be to make creative choices. Even as an actor, I see when I teach the acting students, when they understand what we're talking about, when we talk about focal length and how that changes the shot and how that might change the performance, it makes them feel more comfortable on set. It kind of breaks down that mystique, and I think makes for better content overall.
Well, I think this is fantastic. It's a great initiative for anyone who's even got the smallest interest in making films. You are learning from two of the absolute best. If you want to find out more details, where's the best place? Zara Stars Production. Go to the Instas and the website and find out more details.
Yeah, I would say that would be the best place to go, to zarastars.com. On there, you'll see there's a link to the filmmaking workshop. We do have all over Insta. There are several campaigns that are running, and then I'm sure you can reach out too and just have a direct connection via Zara Stars to have that feedback via email.
Jonathon, while we have covered literally everything, and obviously this conversation can go way beyond also, it's an ocean, but there's a little personal question that I want to ask you. Your framing looks very different as compared to any of the Zoom interviews that we've done. You are in focus. Everything behind you is out of focus. How did you do that? Have you put in some cameras, some lenses in front of you?
Soft filter or something on the lighting? What have you done?
The soft filter is what's making me look younger. Yes. No. I am a former cinematographer, so when it comes to setting my frame, it's always important about the way that you're lit and then your backlight. But this is just a feature that Apple has, and it's the portrait effect.
All right.
Okay. Well, every CEO we speak to that's in a boardroom, they need to speak to you because you look better than anyone we were speaking to. Jonathon Whittaker and Leo Wong. It is a great filmmaking workshop. Goes for 8 weeks. And if you want to get in contact with it, it's Zara Stars Productions. Look it up online or on the socials. And thank you very much for joining us this afternoon.
It's been an incredible pleasure. Thanks for having us. We really appreciate it. And we look forward to seeing you all in the classroom come May 19th.
Wonderful. Thank you.